Hi, it's Sean here again. If you've watched the video before, if you haven't, hi, welcome along. This is just another video to showcase one of the products that we sell through GCRC and that I'm using on a couple of my rigs. So these are the Punks Custom 3D carbon fibre wheels, and these ones are a little bit special because they're colour changing as well. So I'm hoping somehow you'll see the colour changing from I don't know, oh there you go, purple, green, purpley greeny colour. Yeah, there you go, there's the purple, and maybe there's some green coming in a minute or two. There you go, a bit green there. So yeah, so it's just this disc with the GCRC cut out, instead of one of the other designs that you can get from Punks Custom. They do loads. They're absolutely they're gorgeous, really gorgeous. So the idea of these wheels really is to lower the weight. So it's lower the weight in the wheels so that when you pull the trigger and you want some wheel speed, you get it immediately. It spins up much faster. Obviously we're all used to putting loads of weight in our wheels, which I've done for years. But actually when you think about it, what that's doing is it's putting a load of strain on all the drive shafts, the axles, the engine or the motor. So you pull the trigger, it's trying to spin up more weight, there's more momentum, more inertia, so that when you stop the trigger, it all gets a massive strain put on it because there's a whole load of weight pulling on it all. So with these wheels, they are super light. So I'm going to make the wheel up with a pretty bog standard RTR tyre with its foam in it. And then I'm going to weigh it, and then this one here is one that I have on one of my other rigs. As you can see, it's all lovely and rusty because it's uncoated. And this is a steel wheel from G-Made with a 1.9 high racks, and it's got dual stage foams in, so it's actually quite heavy anyway, but it will show the difference between that, which is what using lots of rigs, compared to this tyre, which is pretty much the same size, with the carbon fibre Punks Custom wheel. So this is a 2.2 wheel, so I'm going to be stretching the 1.9 tyre over it. So once you've done this, you pretty much can't use that tyre on a 1.9 anymore. It's going to just be pulled. The foam's going to be pulled and squashed, the tyre's going to be stretched. But I like the look of it. I like the way it looks on the rig. The profile just feels a bit smaller. The foam works, standard foams work really well, so you haven't got to put dual stages in there. If you want to run a dual stage, you can. You just have to cut the centre out of the blue part, which I have one right here, which I took out of this rig. So obviously that's how your dual stage comes. What you need to do is cut out this to match the size of the ring. So you can see the difference in size there. There's quite a big difference, obviously. So if you don't want to ruin your two-stage foams, you don't have to. Just use the standard ones that come with the tyres instead. Save yourself, well, on this rig, a load of money because you don't have the dual stages anymore and it costs a fortune. So yeah, the centre ring is 3D printed. They also come with a lovely hub which you fit on the back. They're a standard 6-bolt. I think they fit SSD wheels as well. I'm not sure if they fit Vanquish. I think they might be slightly different bolt pattern, and you can get different sizes. So as you can see, I think this one is a 15mm. I think that's about 8, maybe 10. So you can see there's a difference in height. So obviously it pushes the wheel further out. You can build the wheels two different ways. You can have them so the disc, if you can see it, is to the front. But I'll show you when I've built it. You can actually fit the wheel the other way around as well, so they're like a deep dish. So you've got the wheel coming much further out. So yeah, a couple of options there, which is quite nice. Yeah, so that's that part done. So this is all the bits you get. So you get your inner ring, you get 2 carbon fibre beadlocks, which are they're just carbon fibre, just normal colour. And then with these ones, we've got these team ones, which are the colour changing ones. I think we will be offering some colours at some stage or other, but this is the one I've got here at the moment, so I just thought I'd show you with this one. Yeah, so you get loads of hardware, you get a bag of hardware. It's actually split up into the bits as far as I remember. So bag of hardware, and what I've done already is I've put it out into my little magnetic tray, so you get a whole load of small screws. I shall measure them and tell you. You get long spacers, there's some short spacers as well, and then there's some long screws, and then these are the other screws that hold the wheel onto the hub. So these are 2.5mm hex, and these are a 2mm hex, and so are the long ones as well. Right, that's it. So I'm just going to start putting it together, to be honest. So give me 2 seconds and we'll be right back. Right, so I just had to remember how to put them together because it's been a couple of weeks. So basically what you do is you take a long screw, bolt, nut thing, and you put it through the beadlock like so, and then you get one of the small spacers. Now it's going to be a little bit difficult to see on camera, but you'll understand if you buy them. On the small spacers and the long ones, they have the screw thread in them, but on one side it's open, and on the other end it's flat. If you can see that, you probably can. But yeah, so if needs be, I'll take a picture of it and put it up. But basically what I'm doing, because I think it makes sense, is I then put the flat side towards the beadlock, because obviously when you tighten up the tyre bead against the beadlock, what you end up with is a nice flat surface. And obviously I'm just going to cheat because otherwise we'll be here all day. So take the spacer, and then towards the end obviously just chill out a bit. So that's the spacer on, and it's not going to turn and move, but all nice and round, look lovely. Right, so once you've done all of those, which we're going to cut to, so I'm going to stop, take a minute, and I'll come back. Sorted. So hello, back again. So stage 1, beadlock, long bolt, small spacer, like that. And then you get your faceplate. Oh, there you go, there's the green, and the purple will appear another time. So make sure, for me obviously I've got to get it around the right way, but normally there isn't a colour on there. So you then just line up the 6 bolts into the faceplate like so. You push it on, it makes a bit of a noise, and you're like, oh no, carbon fibre breaking, but it's absolutely fine, believe me. So that's that stage there. So next stage is then going to be to put on the long bolts, the long spacers, sorry. Okay, so the long spacers. So long spacers, you just screw them on with your fingertips, absolutely fine. So they go on, just do each one like that. And so this is basically, if you think about it, this is the shape of the inside where the inner ring is going to go. Okay, so you've got 6 on here. Is that all 6? 1, 2, 3. Oh, one missing. There we go. So get all them on there. Nice and easy. Bosh. Done. Okay, so that's your basic wheel. So that's obviously going to sit like that. Yeah, with your ring, and then this bit holds it on the other side. So now, ring, inner ring, 1.9 tyre. Doesn't fit. Bit of a pain, bit of a squeeze, but at the end of the day, you can get it in. So I'll pull the tyre around, pull it out, stretch it. She said, make sure it's all lined up. You really want to try and get the foam, so you've got equal bits of foam on either side of that inner ring, as much as you can, because once you've got this on, that foam is going to be pushing that tyre and it's going to be squeezed. Alright, so there you go. That wasn't too bad. Bosh. So now get your wheel. You have to sort of wriggle it around to get it into the ring. Obviously it fits in the ring, no problem, but your tyre then needs to be moved so the beadlock catches it. So you get it on like that, and then you have to go around, just pull the tyre over the center plate, so it sits between the center plate and the outer ring. Okay, so it'll fit there nicely, it just sits on there, absolutely lovely. And then if you look inside, get a little pointy thing, if you look inside the bead lock here, where am I looking? Oh, I can't work out where I'm pointing to. How weird is that? It's all backwards to me. That's actually the tyre bead. Alright, and it's caught between the plate and the bead lock. Okay, so there you go. So that's on. Nice, it's easy. Make sure, look inside, make sure that the tyre is down there. If you can see in there, somewhere just in here, you can see a bit of the foam. So I just need to move that down a bit, make sure the tyre goes all the way in. That bead is sitting into and behind all the short spaces. Alright, and you can't see any foam, so that's looking better now, looking much better to me. Right, that's that easy bit. Next bit, a little bit more difficult, because now now you've got to get the small screw bolt nut thing onto the other beadlock ring, get it through. So now, I'm not sure if you can see this exactly, but basically what I need to do is you put the bead lock, you put the bead lock into the edge of the tyre, you squeeze it over and just do the screw up into the long spacer a few turns, just like with any other bead lock. Alright, then just again like with any other bead lock, line up the screws, screw holes in the bead lock with the tall spacer. Take another one, and I always put it, I do one at 6 o'clock and one at 12 o'clock. So you put it in, you've got to do the same thing again. So, but this time round, obviously, you've now got to pull the tyre out of the way and force that in there. You just only, because this is only difficult because I'm doing it on 2.2s. This is a piece of cake when you do it on the right size tyre. I just don't happen to have any 2.2 tyres. So otherwise I'd have done that, and you'd have seen how much easier it is. I'm just using a bit of force to squeeze down. Sorted. Right, so my bead is now actually on, but if you look, it looks horrendous over here. It looks terrible because it's obviously too small to fit in here. Okay, so you've got this, you've got the tyre bead sitting down over here. So all you're doing now is just you're pulling it back and just trying to get it to come out to the edge of the bead lock like you would normally do on any tyre. So it's now held, the rim of the bead lock is holding the rim of the tyre. Okay, so then I'm just going to put all the other screws in, and I'm not going to put them all the way in, I'm going to put them in, you know, like halfway. Okay, and the reason for that is I just want to check that I've got them, that I've actually got all the tyre bead in the right place. And I want to make sure that the tyre bead is sitting behind that spacer and between the bead lock as well. So again, you can see on here, in there, you can see the tyre. Okay, you can see the bead of the tyre. So I just want to make sure it's sitting between the ring and that spacer. So I'm pushing it down and in and over the inner ring. And I know this is, you're like, what are you doing, Sean? It's ridiculously fiddly. But like I said, this is only because I'm stretching 1.9s onto the 2.2s. But at the end of the day, if that's what you want to do, this is how you do it. So you're just pushing it down, making sure you can see it all the way around. Hopefully you're getting this behind the screw as well. But at the end of the day, we're just ask us some questions. You know, if you get this and you're like, what are you doing, man? I can't see a thing, can't work it out, then just, you know, ask me a question in the comments, and I'll answer it as best I can. So now I'm just going to do them up. So you do them up exactly the same as you would do normally, you know. So miss one, do it so it's like that cross pattern, because you want to make sure that you're pulling the bead onto the inner ring properly and evenly around the tyre. So I'm going to do it. What you might find is that the screw just goes round and round and round. It's because the front screw isn't tight enough. So then from this one, I'm going to go up to 12 o'clock and do that one. Like so. Then I'm going to miss that one, obviously, do this one. And what that should do is it should pull the bead onto the inner ring, front and back, because you're pulling all of it tight together now. Okay, so then I'm just going to literally just go around each one, have a quick look as I do it, make sure I can see tyre inside there, which I can. I'm happy with that, that's alright. Seems to have gone okay. And I'll be really honest, guys, I'm no expert. I am no expert. This hobby is fantastic. You just learn stuff all the time, you know. So if you've got any tips on how to do this easier, please let me know. And then I'm going to go to the front, and I'm just going to tighten the front ones up as well, so that everything is now shored up nice and neat. That tyre is held on that inner ring, and we're all done nice and tidy. So there we go. There is a 2.2 colour changing wheel with a 1.9 tyre on it, which, as you can see now, is a lot firmer than what it was. These aren't vented either, so if you drive the car and you're like, oh, I want them to be a bit softer, just put 3 holes in, 1, 2, 3 holes in the tyre all the way through, not massive, and that'll let the air through, and your tyre will conform over stuff a lot better. So that's that one done. So now what I'm going to do is, just so you can see the two hubs I showed you earlier on, this rig is running the wider hubs, so I don't really need a hub on this wheel, to be honest, because it's just going to sit on the back there, just, you know, for fun, because it looks good. So I don't really need a hub in it, but it finishes it off nicely with the extra three bolts. So I'm just going to use the smaller one. So if you've ever done this before, you know what I'm about to do, but basically if you look at that, there's a little lip just here on the inside, and it basically fits into the hole in the wheel. And if you can see that now, take it away, put it there, you'll see there's like a silver ring now on the inside of the wheel. And then obviously you just turn it so you've got the screw holes lined up. Screw holes are lined up, and then these screws, bolts, nuts, things, always get it wrong. What you're basically going to do is just take them and screw them into the hub. Some of them I found you have to just give a bit more pressure just to start them off, but once you've started them off, absolutely fine. So the hardware on these, all the bolts are stainless steel, which is really nice, good quality, nice stainless steel. Majority of them, well, these ones on here, these put onto the hubs, like I said before, these are a 2.5mm hex. The others are all 2mm. So again, nice and easy. We've all got, well, most of us have got these kind of tools. Get that one in there. Yeah, nicely cut. The carbon fiber's got no funny bits on it. You haven't got to sand it down or treat it in any way. And then these are beautiful. These are really nicely made. I mean, the hubs are lovely. The finish on them is really good. You know, and all the screw threads are in there. Yeah, they're lovely. Real nice. So there you go. That's the hub on. Hub looks nice. Nice and shiny on the back. On the front, you've got all your hardware on there. Looking absolutely pucker. And you can see the purple and the green a lot better now. So yeah, so that's it basically. That's going to go on back of that. So what I'll do now, I'm just going to really quickly you're not going to be able to see it, but I'm going to show you the difference. So let's get this on grams. It is. So this is the really lovely untreated or uncoated G-made steel wheel that I have on one of my trail rigs. I've left it like that for a couple of years and it's just gone beautifully rusty. I love it. With a dual stage Proline foam and 475 higher axis. Okay, so that on the scales, that's reading 219 grams. All right, that's that. So this is just under 4.75 tyre. I can't remember what it's off. I think it's off an FTX Outback Fury, something like that. And obviously the carbon fibre wheel with its original standard foam. Okay, and this is where it all goes pear-shaped again, and it's heavier. But wash that on there, and believe me, it's 161 grams. So what's that? That's nearly 60 grams less weight for the drivetrain to turn, basically. So you imagine all of that extra weight already without you putting anything else on the tyre or on the wheel. That's putting a massive strain on stuff. So, you know, it's something to think about. I've certainly noticed the difference when I've been using the carbon fibre wheels. I've got them on 3 rigs now, and they do make a massive difference. This is probably not the best example because this is an absolutely standard UMG 6x6 with a G-Speed chassis. This is a Vader skid plate that we supply. That obviously lowers things down, well, flattens things off. It does make it easier to get on that breakover angle. And then also I've got on the front, I don't know if you can see that, I absolutely love it. So that is a Reefs 444 servo. So I've tried to keep this rig sort of, you know, lower cost if I can. So this is like the baby of the bunch for the Reef servos that we've got. And it's mad. It's so powerful for what it is. It's absolutely brilliant. And the rig isn't heavy, so it doesn't need, you know, it doesn't need all that power really in the front anymore because it's not heavy. It's not really overloaded in the front. So, but yeah, wheels work lovely, absolutely beautiful, pretty tough. Not had any kind of breakages, and this rig's been all over the place. It's up and down and flying around, falling down rocks at the Quarry SST. So yeah. Anyway, I'll wrap it up there. Any other questions or any questions at all, just put them in the comments, ask away, and we'll all do our best to give you the information that you need. All right, thanks a lot. Take care.